Well, the manner in which Mr. Tchaikovsky oscillates between ecstasy and despair is one of the wonders of the universe. We just heard a section of the first movement of Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony. Another one of these recordings with the Frankfurt Radio Orchestra online, and they're really well recorded, fantastic musicians and full concerts. Their live concert seasons are now on the tube. Well worth a look. But music of Tchaik is always something to behold. And that is certainly no exception. This is vk3sl. Welcome to the afternoon session. And we're just sharpening up the gramophone needles, getting organised. It's a bit chaotic in here. In fact, it's been a bit ridiculous of late, and we may be sort of counting down to the end of the very regular sessions because other things are cropping up thick and fast. So we'll just do what we can. Should be right tomorrow. I've got to go into work tomorrow. I should be back in time for the missions, and Wednesday should be okay. Thursday, bit of a question mark. Look, we'll just take one day as it comes. If I'm not on the air, you know why. And gradually it's going to sort of... Good afternoon. Hello there, Mr. O.P.
Frank.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, very well. How are you?
Yeah, great. Good, thanks. And I received your note the other day. I didn't get a chance to return.
No, I understand. Yeah, I think it's been a bit the same here with, as I explained, the changes of routine and bits and pieces.
That's it. Yes, that's right. It does change.
Afternoon, Steve.
Yes, and hello to you, Frank. Nice to hear from you.
Hello, Frank. Indeed.
Yeah.
Hello, Frank.
It's back, Frank.
Meeting of the clan. It's good to be here. So I was just sort of just giving the blurb about where we're heading, and look, we'll keep things going as long as possible. In the longer term, Friday, Saturday, Sunday should be a goer, notwithstanding social events, but keen to keep all of this happening. But the midweek missions, maybe this may be the last week. We'll see. But we'll take one step at a time. But isn't the music of Tchaikovsky just so alluring?
It is beautiful stuff. It's full of emotion, full of Russian passion.
Oh, totally. But just the way it's just so overtly expressive, and the next moment it is utter despair. All those tritones in the brass.
I think that was how he was.
Yeah, but just catastrophic mood swings within...
Yeah, from dark and brooding to joy in no time.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's absolutely. So, it's so wondrous. I mean, last night we had a big Tchaik fest, and we're listening to the fifth.
The fifth on, didn't you?
The fifth, and then the sixth. We played the entire Pathetique as well.
Oh, wow.
And I was...
You should market that every year with an orchestra, have a Tchaik fest.
Yes, that's right. I think, it does happen. And... it's just such great music, and we should feature a few of the overtures and other works by Mr. T. And of course, we now have a recording of Tchaikovsky speaking. Now that
I heard that's right. You played it on the mission.
Yeah, a while back, and these are these amazing cylinders which were discovered a little while back. And one of them features a conversation with Peter Tchaikovsky in 1893. Incredible.
Wow.
To hear his voice. He had a high voice.
He had quite a high voice.
Yeah.
He sounded excited, didn't he?
He did. Very excitable. Yeah, so that was just a little tantalising glimpse into his personality when you hear someone speak.
Oh, in his native Russian, or was it English?
Yeah, he was in Russian, I think he was speaking in French.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think they all spoke, the elite spoke in French, I think, at that time.
Yes, before the revolution. It was probably the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. But, anyhow, Mr. Tchaikovsky. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to have to quickly get over my 20s itch. And there is a very interesting recording being put up lately. I'm going to defer to the tube today. I'm being a bit lazy, but I want to hear it. And it's a recording of the Rhythmic 8, a British group, who was led by Max Goldberg. Now, Max Goldberg was a really excellent studio musician who played on probably a third of the recordings made in London and in Europe and in America.
A lot of recordings.
He made staggering amounts, thousands. He estimated later in life he'd made thousands.
Did he really?
And he was sort of the studio musician who just got a gig everywhere. And he was in London.
You wouldn't see him on the label.
No, never on the label. And he was just a part of the ensemble. And he played with just about every band. And there's a number of interviews with him. But he ended up in Australia, and he ended up playing in the Channel 9 band. as an old man.
Good heavens.
He immigrated to Oz in the 40s, and I think he lived up to the 70s. Mr. L's interviewed him, and others have as well. In fact, there's some interviews with Max Goldberg online, which are really interesting to hear because he tells the story. And, yeah, Canadian-born, excellent trumpet player, but he was a very good, he wasn't sort of a quintessential jazz musician per se, but he was a very good syncopated player, excellent reader, had a fantastic sound, and, worked really well in ensembles, and certainly was in demand. Played with Ambrose and Ray Noble and a number of the big bands in England as well. But in the mid-20s, or mid-20s-ish, he played with a number of groups sort of under his own direction, including this one, the Rhythmic 8. It features a number of players, studio players, but they're a really good ensemble. And this is a track called That's Her Now. So let's have a listen to this off an old Zonophone. Well, that record's gold. Amazing. He cut some really good solos in there, did Mr. Goldberg. That was interesting. I think, given a little bit of space to breathe, he was able to come up with something quite inventive. Certainly had the spaciousness of people like Bix. And, some nice phrasing there from Max Goldberg with the Rhythmic 8, a recording made in 1929. vk3sl test missions on 160 and UHF, and also streaming online. So you can find us online on YouTube, and where we have our presence. And there is a secondary stream as well. If you really want to find out about the station and about what does go on here, just look up the blogspot, vk3sl.blogspot.com. there we have it. Disclaimers abound. We can move forward. And, so what's news in your neck of the woods there, Mr. JR?
Well, I had a very outgoing day today. We had neighbours in for a long morning tea, and this afternoon we went for a walk down to our park and met more neighbours and had a long talk to them. So it's a very sociable day.
Oh, most excellent indeed. Yes, nothing like being around people face to face, the real experience.
Yeah, that's right. It's very rejuvenating.
Yeah, it certainly is. Oh, that's excellent. Nice to hear. And Mr. OP, if you're still there, it would be great if we could, if you're happy to, in the next couple of days, you've got some thoughts about a guitar program?
Yeah. I need to turn you down a bit.
Yeah, it's fine. So, if you've got some
I'm thinking
ideas
about that. I'm working on a couple of things there. I'm also sort of thinking about one of just, essentially like cover versions of...
Yeah.
Because there's some interesting ones about and that I have here.
Yeah.
One of whom I don't know that the material's on the tube. I need to do a bit of a deeper search to see if I can find it. Some of it is.
Yeah.
But there's one particular, it's a CD I got, who's a local Melbourne artist, and like a big sort of swing type band.
Okay.
And does some cover versions of some great Australian rock songs that are, really well known, and his take on them is pretty fun. So,
tremendous. Okay.
I'm not sure if they're on the tube, so if they're not, I have to find out a way to get you the actual...
Yeah, just shoot me the MP3s if you can.
Yeah. That should go all right. I guess the mailbox is big enough, isn't it?
I think so. You might have to do a couple of tracks at a time or something.
Yeah. There's not a huge amount from him, but it's just, okay, I'll
that'd be right.
have a look. Yeah, because he's an interesting one.
For sure. Or if you want
to... most good.
Yeah, that'd be good. Or you could do, say, Dropbox or something like that. That's fine. But look, I look forward to that. I've always enjoyed your selections, and it'd be nice to have something that's of your particular interest there.
This was a fun one. I mean, his name's Wayne Cornell.
Oh, okay.
And it's and his orchestra.
Yeah.
And we were doing years ago the Countdown reunion tour concerts. They were putting on a show at one of the big venues and over a few nights.
Sure.
And they decided to record it all for posterity. And
okay.
So a lot of the original artists got back together and did takes of stuff that they played on the show years and years ago. And so there was one day in there where we did a bunch of rehearsal, and then we had a couple of record nights. And then once the joint was open to front of house, I heard this stuff playing. I thought, hang on a minute, I recognise this tune. Oh, wow. So I went up to the front of house guy and said, who the hell's this?
Yeah.
And he showed me the CD. And he said, okay, cool. So I went and found it and bought it. And
good for you.
It's it's got some really cool cover versions of, like an AC/DC song and some Crowded House and
fantastic.
Some Rose Tattoo, but done in the big band swing type, or big band
excellent.
sort of,
Good stuff. All right. Well, look, definitely. Yeah, shoot through some MP3s. They work well, and that would be we'll get a taste of Wayne Cornell and his orchestra. I've heard the name. So he's local, isn't he? You say he's Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds familiar.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It's quite a few years old now, and I don't know if he's done much since, but
sure.
I put on the other night because I was making dinner, and I thought, this would be good fodder for emissions.
Yay, fantabulous. All right, we'll look forward to that. So at your leisure, there's no pressure. Just give me a day's notice, and we'll do a square up, fair up. That'd be good.
Now Wayne says he can forward them. Apparently, you might have a Dropbox or something that he's got access.
Yes, that's
forward
true.
them through.
That's true. We do. Yeah, we have got a setup which we can do that for sure. That's right. I forgot about that. That is most excellent. All right, gentlemen, I've gone to the lucky dip here, and I've got a bunch of records, some fresh 78s, and this is straight off the cuff, no pre-testing, nothing at all. We're just going to dive in here, and we have the Banjo Boys with Kvivivivivit. Well, I wonder what this is going to sound like. KVI-VI-VI-VI-VI-TTT. How's that for a title? It's on a capital 78, and I dare say would have to be the 50s. Most of these capitals are. So what we'll do, let's get some fluff off the needle. We'll square it up, and if I've got the noise processor on, that all makes a difference. And we'll have a listen to the Banjo Boys in action. Hey, why isn't that working? That is strange. Here we go. I think we're in business. vk3sl.
Sad and discouraged, I ventured one day into the woods on my wearisome way, troubled and crushed by defeat and despair, burdens that I had to bear. Then as by magic a kind little bird, singing so sweetly for me, brought me great joy, and the message I heard, the Lord in His love cares for me. God is constantly near. Every burden He'll bear. He is ever the same. Let us all praise His name. Then as I listened with love in my heart, sorrow and trouble at once did depart. Heavenly sunshine now flooded my soul. My life was changed and made whole. Oh, little bird with your sweet little song, you brought me comfort and glee. Now I can sing as I travel along. The Lord in His love cares for me. God is constantly near. Every burden He'll bear. He is ever the same. Let us all praise His name. Oh, that we all would rejoice evermore. Praise God our Father as never before. Then we would find to our joy and delight, life would be cheerful and bright. Let us rejoice as the bird in the tree, praising our Savior and King. God in His love cares for you and for me. Oh, let us rejoice now and sing. God is constantly near. Every burden He'll bear. He is ever the same. Let us all praise His name.
I think they're still smiling. That's the Banjo Boys. Yes, very much of its time. And the other side is Hey Mr. Banjo. Ring a
That was the
bell?
one that got played a bit.
Okay, Mr. Banjo, you think?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Do we stay in the glam mode, or do you think we can give it a miss?
Oh, I think you could probably give it a miss.
I think we might give it a miss. Yes, we'll put that one in the pile for 20 years' time. And I'm afraid to say that this pile is full of square dance records. There's too many square dance records. This is disaster.
You can't escape
I
them.
can't escape them. It's like something bad.
Haunting you.
Yes, they keep coming back. Here we go. Here's something different. It's Nat King Cole. 2 tracks. It's Crazy or Smile.
Smile was a hit.
It was a big hit, wasn't it?
Smile when your heart is...
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's very...
I think Charlie Chaplin might have composed that somehow.
Yes, indeed, you are right. It's on the label, Charles Chaplin.
It was from a movie.
Yeah, Smile, Smile. Which movie?
Don't know.
Yeah. Oh, look, it comes back to me because I'm sure I've heard it. It's one of the is it Limelight or
Limelight. It was Limelight, I think.
Okay. All right. We'll have to hear this. It'll be slow, but it'll be nice. It's Cat King Noel and the orchestra. This is one thing about being a little bit Dixie. I can get this reliably incorrect, with the orchestra conducted by Relson Niddle and the orchestra. And let's Hear the whole world smile. vk3sl.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
King Cole, beautiful singing. He certainly had a way. That's with Nelson Riddle and the orchestra, and the other side is Jimmy Rogers. It's Crazy. I'd just like to have a little sample of side B, since we're having some Nat King Cole. We could hear another. Is that okay? Can we can
Sounds good.
All right, we'll give another one a go. This one, It's Crazy. Just wondering what sort of tune it'll be. Maybe it might be a bit.
I jump up at dawn, shake out the sun, laugh like a loon, everything is fun, it's crazy, but I'm in love. I act like a fool, what do I care? I'll be a fool as long as you're there. It's crazy, but I'm in love. I spread my wings and then I'll fly all around the city. The world's my sweet potato pie, and I'm sitting mighty pretty. I sweep out the stars, chase that old moon, fall into bed, humming a tune. It's crazy, but I'm in love, 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 love. It's crazy, but I'm in love. is crazy, but I'm in love. I spread my wings and then I'll fly all around the city. The world's my sweet potato pie, and I'm sitting mighty pretty. I sweep out the stars, chase that old moon, fall into bed, humming a tune. It's crazy, but I'm in love, 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 love. It's crazy, but I'm in love.
You can really hear the influence of Frank Sinatra on that record. Going back to the 50s, and of course I had a piano break on it as well. Mr. King Cole got a little bit of piano magic woven into the texture. This is vk3sl testing, and we're just sifting through piles of 78s. And where to next? We will find another one here, Doris Day. Now, are you with us there, Frank? Okay.
Which one?
Well, I don't mind. If whoever knows the music of Doris Day, I think Mr. J.R. might be otherwise disposed. Now, we've got... I think I might have played this before. I'm not sure. Lots and lots of duplicates in these boxes.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Doris Day.
That's fair enough. I don't either. So, yeah. Oh, this is Sarah Sarah. Yeah, this was sort of a big hit. And the other side is I've Got to Sing Away These Blues. It's a coronet.
I know, K-Sarah, that was pretty well her biggest, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Super well known.
Yeah, I think that's out there. That's out. That gets a lot of high stakes in the popularity ratings. So I reckon we'll give Doris Day a Guernsey. We'll have whatever will be, will be. Yeah, this is a song I think will be known. Checking in, vk3sl.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. Now I have children of my own. They ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be. Que sera, sera.
Doris Day, and a very popular hit from the mid-1950s. And I'm keen to hear what's on the other side of that record. So I've Got to Sing Away These Blues, the name of the song, Van Alexander and his orchestra. So we'll frisbee this one on. Have a listen. vk3sl.
torch I must lose. I may have to die some, and surely I'll cry some, but I've gotta sing away these blues. It's heartbreak time now, and so it's a sad song I choose. You may find it dreary, but Lord, I'm so weary, I've gotta sing away these blues. I thought my role was certain. He was mine, he was mine, he was mine. But then fate rang down the curtain, and all I have left is a heart that's bereft. And now it's over, and I'm still paying love's dues. My heart was a glad thing that turned into sad thing. I've gotta sing away these blues. Yes, I've gotta sing away these blues. These blues.
Doris Day with a laid-back number.
Sounded young.
Yeah. It's great to hear her singing that style, isn't it?
It is. She's sort of the songs that made all their money didn't really show her at her best.
Yeah. She's got the right sort of laid-back feel, almost a bit of weight, leaning back on the beat in that recording. And
Yeah, she can sing, the jazz songs pretty well.
Yeah, she did really well with that. That was a great track, actually. I might put that one in the pile.
Oh, that's a keeper for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. Yes, the keeper pile is now about 6 feet tall. I fear for the records at the bottom of the pile. They're probably developing cracks. It's this huge pile of 78s, and every time there's one to put back in for future plays, it gets put in the pile. But the pile is, almost out of control. It is. Yay. Well, look, I was sifting through, and there's a Polydor 78 here of Gene Campbell. Do you know anything about Gene Campbell?
No, I don't.
Yeah, there's a song called Let's Go Steady. I just had a tiny sample, and it sounded upbeat and out there, and it's that sort of progressive moving on to new styles. It's almost, we'll wait and see. We'll have a proper listen, and then we can evaluate. Gene Campbell on a Polydor. Interesting. You don't see that many Polydors from this era, but hey, why isn't it working? I know why, because I haven't engaged the switch.
It'll do it.
Yep, it always does. vk3sl.
And vk3sl.
Let's go steady, steady, like sweethearts do, 'cause I'm ready, ready to belong to you. I'd rather go dancing with one boy who's all my own, instead of romancing with all of the other boys that I've known. Let's go steady, steady. Let's start today. Let's be closer, closer in every way, until we can make closer, closer, in every way, until we can name the day we're both dreaming of. Let's go steady, steady, so they'll know we're in love.
Oh, it's very good.
Yay, complete with a fat saxophone there.
That's right at the finish. She's got a good voice.
Yeah, she's out there. Yeah. It's, Jean Campbell. Who was Jean Campbell?
May well ask.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's out there now. I'm sure one of our listeners will know Jean Campbell. She recorded for Polydor, and you don't usually see Polydor 78s in this era.
It's a European label, essentially.
Yeah, it is. They sort of worked under other labels, sort of contracted to them. I know that a lot of Polydor recordings would turn up from the early days that turn up in Australia were actually made by Vocalion. So yeah, there's a lot of association between the labels. But yeah, interesting. I haven't seen a 50s Polydor. I think it sort of became Deutsche Grammophon, the sort of upmarket version, Archive and Deutsche Grammophon. I think they're all part of the same enterprise.
I used to like listening to continental music programs in the 50s, and there were quite a few of them.
Sure.
And the Polydor featured very large in those.
Sure. Yeah, I think the origins of the label certainly are German, and yeah, you often do see continental music. Yeah, it'd be great to find some more continental 78s. In fact, I also would like to feature more of the 7 Chinese singers. The other night we heard Bei Hong.
Oh yes, lovely.
And there are 7 of them apparently, and they were sort of a class of Western style Chinese singers who were busy in Shanghai during the Second World War period, just around the Second World War, when the Japanese were still incumbent in Shanghai. And then after the Cultural Revolution, sadly, a lot of them sort of fell foul of the revisionist take on things. But look, it's a fascinating story, and there's a lot of material. There's a whole subculture of this Chinese music from that period, which I'd love to exploit. Yay! Well, another one here, June Valley. Now, I don't think June Valley has any relation to Rudy Valley. But anyhow, this is a song called Now, Now, Now. Now, I just had a little sample of this, and it's a really well-known song, and it's a take on a classical song, and I know it really well, but I don't. You know what it is? Yeah. So look, I might need your help with this one.
Oh, you're lucky if you don't know it. I doubt it.
I don't know. It's really, really familiar. It'll come to the fore, I'm sure. But let's have a listen to June Valley and Now, Now, Canal.
Come, let's be happy, come, let's be happy, come, let's be happy now, now, now. No time for sorrow, too late, tomorrow, come, let's be happy now, now, now. There is no time to lose, put on your dancing shoes. Sing a song of gladness, let the trumpets blow. Let's have a little fling, life is a precious thing. On your mark, get ready, get set, go. Now, 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 now. Now the song that hasn't been sung, now the fling that hasn't been flung. Too many hours have been wasted, too many lips have not been tasted. Now's the time, now's the time. The only time is now. of gladness, let the trumpets blow.
Let's have a little fling, life is a precious thing.
On your mark, get ready, get set, go.
Now, 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 now.
Now the song that hasn't been sung, now the fling that hasn't been flung. Too many hours have been wasted, too many lips have not been tasted.
Now's the time, now's the time.
The only time is now.
Those little tears to Piccadilly there.
Yes, it did. It ended up in the major key, and of course that was the Israeli song, isn't it? The
Havana Gila.
yes, that's right. That's what it was. Yes, it's all clarified now. Great.
Penny dropped it.
Yeah. Well, it's true. And the but what a spirited performance. They were going to town there.
Terrific,
I could-
terrific. Much in the mould of Sena.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it has that bar mitzvah sort of feel about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, rejoicing.
Yeah, that's it. Brilliant. Oh, that
I love that stuff.
yeah, it's excellent. I love it too. Yeah, very involving music. It makes you just want to get up and be. I remember playing at a Jewish wedding once, and it was just such an occasion.
They are.
It was.
They know how to have a good time, don't they?
Oh, do they ever? It was just so festive, and everyone was letting their hair down. It was just wild, amazing.
Well, I went to a bar mitzvah, I think I might have said, and even though I think I was one of the very few Gentiles there,
Yes.
it just all that melted away. I just felt totally part of the whole thing, got swept up into it.
Oh, how about that? That's fantastic. What an experience. Yeah.
It was. It really was.
Really memorable. There's such an abandon. There's such a wonderful, joyous, I don't know, connection with a deep tradition. And as you say, they really know how to enjoy themselves. Yay. Well, next one is a Esquire Mercury disc. It's from the musical Can. And this is a record that I remember as a kid. In fact, my grandfather had this and used to play it on his radiogram. So I know it, and I know that the copy we had got broken, so here's another one.
Oh, good.
So it's a recording of Georgia Gibbs.
Oh, she's good.
Yay! And she's singing I Love Paris. And I remember she had a deep, gravelly voice. And I remember putting my ear to the speaker, and it sort of had this air of mystique about it. So, let's hear Georgia Gibbs. Oh, with a small centerpiece. Let's hear it. vk3sl.
I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why, oh why do I love Paris? Because my love is here. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why, oh why do I love Paris? because my love, because my love is
Now that used to induce such a sense of foreboding to me as a child.
It is. It does sound very dark, doesn't it?
It does. As a kid, I remember it so strongly. I remember being quite scared of that record. And I remember sort of feeling, ooh, this voice, it's unearthly, and especially it's very soft. I have to have the levels right up. It's low-level recording. So it sort of always had that. And then suddenly when she breaks into song, it equalises. But the at the start, it's very a little bit tremulous.
Well, it is. It is. And the minor key, of course, helps.
Yes, that's right, indeed. I was going to wrestle it off the platter. It's a little bit small. Georgia Gibbs, I don't know. I have to look up about and find out about her.
Well, she was a white singer who sang some black songs.
Yep. Okay. Sure.
I think she did a recording of a thing called "Dance with Me, Henry."
Oh, really? I might look that up. I quite like her voice. I like its power.
Oh, that's a nice, good, thick voice.
Yeah, thick voice, lots of tone colour, lots of character, and I might just what was the track called?
"Dance with Me, Henry."
Dance with Me, H. Okay, I'll do a little bit of a search-o-matic on that, and while doing so, we'll hear side B, if I can wrestle it back onto the platter again. And it's another Parisian record. It's called Under Paris Skies. Georgia Gibbs, conductor with the orchestra conducted by Glenn Oster, I think it says, or Osser. There we have it. Esquire Mercury record on the platter. In the groove. vk3sl.
Stranger, beware, there's love in the air under Paris skies. Try to be smart and don't let your heart catch on fire. Love becomes king the moment it's spring under Paris skies. Lonely hearts meet somewhere on the street of desire. Parisian love can bloom high in a skylight room, or in a gay cafe where hundreds of people can see. I wasn't smart and I lost my heart under Paris skies. Don't ever be a heartbroken stranger like me. Can be so beautifully cruel. Watch what you do, the same thing can happen to you. Watch what you do, the same thing can happen to you.
Well, there we have it, another Georgia Gibbs recording. And again, another very evocative song. European flavours. I can just picture the Parisian streets. Yes. For some reason they're flickering, probably because I've seen so many black and white movies of that period.
No, it's quite atmospheric.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. And we have dialed up the song. The other one you mentioned, Dance With Me, Henry, it's Georgia Gibbs, and this was a number one, apparently, in 1955.
It was. It was a cover of an original singer by a black singer. I can't remember her name.
Etta. What's her name?
James.
Etta James, that's right.
Well done. And Etta used to, the lyrics go, Dance With Me, Henry, rock with me, and Etta used to sing Roll With Me, Henry, and that had connotation.
Oh, really? It might have been banned.
Well, it wasn't exactly banned, but George's version was very popular with the white people, and that was what made all the money.
Okay, yes.
It's essentially the same song that Etta had already recorded.
Yeah, so often the case, isn't it? That the number one sort of gets it's on the second, on the return. Well, look, I'm keen to hear them back to back. So if I could...
You see what you think? I do prefer Etta's version.
Yeah, for sure.
But Georgia does a pretty fair job of it as well.
Okay, well, we'll hear Georgia, and then we'll hear Etta James from probably a year or two prior, I imagine, or... Anyhow, let's have
6 or 9 months. Actually, they were very quick. She was very quick to cover it.
Was she? Okay. Oh, alrighty. Let's hear it in profile. vk3sl.
vk3jr.
It's having a think. It's a bit of a slow cue, this one.
Hey, baby, what do I have to do to make a hit with you?
You gotta dance with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Dance with me, Henry.
Don't mean maybe.
Rock with me, Henry.
Any old time.
Talk to me, Henry.
Don't change your mind.
Dance with me, Henry.
All right.
You better dance while the music goes on. Roll on, roll on, roll on while the cats are bawling. You better stop your stalling. It's intermission in a minute. So you better get with it. Dance with me, Henry. You better dance while the music goes on. Roll on, roll on, roll on. Ooh, Henry, you ain't moving me. You better feel that boogie beat and get the lead out of your feet. You gotta dance with me, Henry. Dance with me, Henry. Rock with me, Henry. Talk to me, Henry. Dance with me, Henry. You got to dance while the music goes on. Roll, 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 roll. Rock, 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 rock. Roll, roll, roll. Roll on, roll on, roll on. Rock with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Dance with me, Henry.
Don't mean maybe.
Rock with me, Henry.
Any old time.
Dance with me, Henry.
Don't change your mind.
Jump with me, Henry.
All right.
You better dance, dance while the music goes on.
Rock!
There we heard it with Georgia Gibbs. Now we'll hear the same song with Etta James back in 1955.
Exactly right.
Hey, baby, what do I have to do to make you love me too?
You got to roll with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Roll with me, Henry.
Don't mean maybe.
Roll with me, Henry.
Any old time.
Roll with me,
Won't
Henry.
change my mind.
Roll with me, Henry.
All right.
You better roll it while the rolling is on. Roll on, roll on, roll on. While the cats are falling. You better Roll with me, Henry. You better roll it while the rolling is on. Roll on, roll on, roll on. Roll with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Roll with me, Henry.
Don't mean maybe.
Roll with me, Henry.
In the old time.
Roll with me.
That one gets the tick. It has that wonderful earthy feel about it.
It's not so sanitised, is
Yeah,
it?
not so much. It's really effective. Great song. And apparently it was written by Hank Ballard. I've been reading about him and he was banned. The song was not allowed to progress until it was revamped.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't really... I suspected something like that, but I never heard that it was right.
Yeah, I was looking for it. Apparently there is a version of Hank Ballard sing it, but I can't seem to find it. Would have been interesting to follow on, but maybe it can be found somewhere else. But
Well, and it's a bit more close to the reality than Georgia.
sure, absolutely. Now, looking up Hank Ballard, there's lots here, a lot of early rhythm and blues stuff, but some of it's pretty lively. I just had a quick listen to this song. It's called Let's Go, Let's Go, Let's Go.
Yeah.
Hank Ballard and some really spirited rhythm and blues. Let's have a listen. vk3sl.
There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a house party way across town. People coming from miles around. Put on your pretty red dress. Let's go see about this mess. That's it, baby, let's get and go where it is. Up on the hill, we're gonna have a whole lot of fun. We're gonna greet the rising sun. All night long, we're gonna ball until we hear your mama call. That's it, baby, let's get and go where it is. Up on the hill. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Everybody's gonna be there. My friends and yours from everywhere. Oh, what a time it's gonna be. Come on, baby, let's go see. That's it, baby, let's get and go where it is. Up on the hill, there's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a thrill up on the hill. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And apparently that was a number one hit for them, a rhythm and blues hit back in 1960,
Well,
1960.
on the 50s,
Yeah.
in the rhythm and blues charts, I think it was Hank Ballard and the Midnighters.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Midnighters. And
He came out to us, he was brought out here by Lee Gordon,
oh, really? He came out to
among
us.
other very notable rock people. I
Okay.
think Little Richard came out.
Yes, you remember we heard Little Richard interviewed on the
that's
Jack
right,
on the
yeah,
Jack
yeah.
Davies show. But wonder if he was with them. Maybe he came out at the same time.
Very likely. He brought them out in fair numbers. Lee Gordon.
Yeah.
You could find out about who came out just by looking up Lee Gordon, I imagine.
I expect so. Lee Gordon, I'll write that down. Now, when we catch up with Jamie, he'll probably have some more information about this. He's
Very likely, yeah.
He's quite possibly got the Ford show or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So that could be interesting. We could have another session, well, a really deep session on early rock and roll rhythm and blues, based on. I mean, look, that one we heard of with Little Richard was just so interesting, so incredible.
I know.
And I mean, it's the rarest of the rare. And I thought that was really compelling. Well, there's quite a bit of Hank Ballard. Here's another one. This song blows socks off. It's unbelievable. How do they get away with titles like this? It's called, wait for it, Sexy Ways is the name of the song. And another one from Mr. Ballard.
Shake, baby, shake, 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 till the meat roll off your bone. Ooh, shake, baby, shake, 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 till your mama and daddy comes home. Shake, 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 I just love your sexy ways. Wiggle, 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 till your hips get tired and weak. Wiggle, baby, wiggle, 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 till you fall out on your feet. Wiggle, 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 I just love your sexy ways. Upside down, all around, in your way, just round. Oh, baby, baby, oh, baby, baby, oh, baby, I just love your sexy ways. On the wall, in the hall, dance, baby, dance, not wrong, wrong, wrong. Oh, baby, do it, baby. Oh, baby, do it, baby. Do it, baby. Do it, baby. I just love your sexy ways. Move, baby, move, move, move. I love this carrying on. Move, baby, move, move, move. Because the mama and daddy is gone. Move, move, move. I just love your sexy ways. I just love your sexy ways. I just love your sexy ways.
How on earth did they get away with that?
Yeah, I'd never heard that.
In 1953, it must have been only locally produced or a small run or something like that.
They'd have played it on the what they used to call the race stations in the States.
Yeah, sure.
It probably never got out here.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, look, I can't imagine it could have got any airplay with those sort of lyrics.
No, it wouldn't.
Extraordinary stuff. 1953. So, and it's pretty. It's really got a rock and roll feel to it. For
It's
90
rock. It's the verge of rock.
That is so interesting. 1953. So it's before everything else. Before
Rock Around the Clock.
that's it.
That's right. And but it's rhythm and blues with a big backbeat.
Yes, you're right. That sets the scene. That is quite groundbreaking, and just the whole sort of flavour of it is foretells the era, doesn't it?
Very much so. I've not heard that.
Yeah, most interesting. It's funny how these YouTube searches beget something else, and that begets something, and you find yourself on a some would say a slippery slope. But,
No.
But
you climb the slope.
yeah, look, it's so interesting hearing these, especially music. It's on a cusp. It's sort of when the style's evolving, and there's all of this massive material, and then it suddenly reforms.
Well, that was the 50s. Rock sort of sprang out of not nothing. It sprang out of a whole lot of different things, but it became an entity unto itself very surprisingly quickly.
Yeah, fascinating. Now, in the chat following that last track, there's a mention of 60 Minute Man, also very sort of...
Oh, yeah. So I'd be careful about 60-minute man. Oh, you probably, I don't know.
Hopefully it won't upset our younger members.
No one's listening anyhow. Yes, quite extraordinary stuff. 1953.
Yeah, 53.
I've always been interested in where the threshold was between boredom and the modern music.
Yeah, well, there you go. It cuts to the chase. There's certainly no boredom on that disc. They're having a good time and singing about it. Staggering, but just the feel, just the, as Frank said, that backbeat, and that you really see the burgeoning star. Well, this next track,
60-Minute Man.
60-Minute Man, says that this is considered to be the first rock and roll record, about the same period, I think.
Wouldn't doubt it. I've never heard it on. So I have heard it on the radio. I heard it on community radio.
Yeah, right. And so this might have been, I think this is on a smaller, race label as well. It's not on one of the mainstreams, but it's the Dominoes from, does it give us a date? It's probably be about the same time as the one we've just heard.
Pretty much.
Let's have a listen.
Telling you now, they call me love and dad. I'll rock 'em, roll 'em all night long. I'm a 60-minute man. If you don't believe I'm all I say, come up and take my hand. When I let you go, you'll cry, oh yes, he's a 60-minute man. There'll be 15 minutes of kissing. Then you holler, please don't stop.
Don't stop.
There'll be 50 minutes of teasing, and 50 minutes of squeezing, and 50 minutes of blowing my top. If your old man ain't treating you right, come up and see old Dan. I'll rock 'em, roll 'em all night long. I'm a 60-minute man. 60-minute man.
Call him
to love and then I'll rock, roll all night long. I'm a 60-minute man. 60-minute man. They call me
love and dance.
I'll rock 'em, roll 'em all night long. I'm a 60-minute man. There'll be 15 minutes of kissing. Then you holler, please don't stop.
Don't stop.
There'll be 50 minutes of teasing, and 50 minutes of squeezing, and 50 minutes of blowing my top. If your old man ain't treating you right, come up and see old Dan. I'll rock 'em, roll 'em all night long. I'm a 60-minute man, oh yeah. 60-minute man.
You can certainly tell why that didn't get into the mainstream. Extraordinary, really.
Yes, certainly is.
Yeah, 1950 mumble. Yeah, the Dominoes, sort of looking at the very, very beginning of rock and roll. Now, there's a number of mentions of Joe Turner here.
Yeah, Big Joe Turner.
Yeah.
He's good.
Okay, well, he was sort of considered to be a founding influence. And
These are rhythm and blues people, essentially.
yeah, it seems like it. And I suppose, there weren't necessarily censors in sort of small community releases, and things were just able to find their way through. But it's pretty extraordinary lyrics. Here's Joe Turner and Shake, Rattle and Roll.
Now, this became a rock anthem.
Yeah, it did with Bill Haley, didn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. He sort of made a big thing. Another classic example, I suppose, of reinventing a piece and putting your stamp on it. But here we go, back to 1954 and Joe Turner and his Blues Kings on an Atlantic 45.
Get out of that bed, wash your face and hands. Get out of that bed, wash your face and hands.
Joe Turner and the Blues Kings, and the original version of Shake, Rattle and Roll, later made famous by Bill Haley and his Comets. Well, Mr. JR, do you have any thoughts about another
Hold on.
burgeoning rock and roll era recording? Maybe we might wind up with something else and then continue where we left off tomorrow, because I'm going to have to go.
Hold on, Steve.
Yeah, that's all right. Take your time. That's all fine and mild. I'm sampling.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that question?
Oh, yeah. Look, I was just going to say I've got to wind it fairly soon, but if you've got a thought about another early rock and roll example, something sort of burgeoning, changing of the tide, early influential track. We did hear Little Richard the other day, and his Tutti Frutti, which some would say is the one of the form-changing recordings.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Let me see. Yeah, look, Jerry Lee Lewis, perhaps.
Yeah, sure. Right, we'll do a search on him and see if we can.
No, well, I can help you.
Yeah, please.
You could have a whole lot of shaking going on.
Oh.
Or you could have.
That sounds good.
Keeping the theme going. Goodness, Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, yes, okay. That was his big hit, wasn't it?
It was huge.
Yeah, well, look, let's start with a whole lot of shaking going on, and then we'll finish with Great Balls of Fire, and then I'll find something to write out with while I chop the vegetables.
Sounds good.
Yay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's been a most interesting little journey there. It's funny how things just sort of segue, isn't it? I quite like it like that. It's nice to have points of departure.
Certainly is.
And I'm just sort of sitting in an ocean of 78s. I've never seen so many. They're just, it's completely encroaching, to be honest. I'm gonna have to try and sort something out.
The pile doesn't seem to get any smaller.
Yeah, I'm just dragging them out. But once I bring them into this room, there's now no carpet to be seen. And they're sort of stacked in massive piles. But look, we'll persevere while we can.
Right.
And we'll have a listen to, here we go, I'm just queuing this up now. So thanks Mr. Stu, nice to hear from you.
Yes, indeed, very, very good.
And we'll continue tomorrow as per usual. Yeah, tomorrow should be good, Wednesday should be good, Thursday maybe. We'll talk one day at a time at this stage, but we'll get there.
Okay, cheerio.
Yep, thank you.
Very good night to the listener and to Mr. Stu and to Steve.
Yeah.
And Mr. OP, if you're still listening, and to Leighton, if you're listening.
Indeed. Yes, that's right. And Mr. OP, anytime. No hurry, no pressure. But yes, your Wayne Connell and his orchestra series sound most interesting. So at your leisure, just send me the files and we'll queue them up. All right. Here we have a whole lot of shaking going on with Jerry Lee Lewis. vk3sl.
Come on over, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Yes, I said, come on over, baby, baby, you can't go wrong. We ain't faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Well, I said, come on over, baby, we got chicken in the corner. Woo, huh? Come on over, baby, well, they got the bull by the horn. We ain't faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, let's shake, baby, shake. I said shake, baby, shake. I said shake it, baby, shake it. Let's shake, make it shake. Come on over, whole lot of shaking going on. Oh, let's go.
You can shake it one time for me. Has to come over, baby. Oh, Lord, shake it going. Now let's get real low one time now. Shake, baby, shake. All you gotta do, honey, is kind of stand in one spot. Wiggle around just a little bit. And that's when you got it. Yeah. Oh, baby, oh, Lord, shake it going. Now let's go one time. Shake it, baby, shake it. Shake it, baby, shake it. Come on, baby, shake it, baby, shake it. Come on up, oh, lot of shaking going
So the selection of Jerry Lee Lewis. Some early rock and roll by default. Now what I'll do is pick out a 10-inch LP to write out the session today. This will be something quite different. It says here a Stanley Black showcase. And I think
British, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he might have been. So
Are you sure he was?
yeah, so this will be very sort of middle of the road music from that period, but a nice sort of relaxed way to wind up operations. So we'll just go with this on the platter, and we're right to go. This is vk3sl. Thanks, Frank. Catch you soon.
You bet. VK3JR clear. Take care, Steve.
Yeah, you too. listening to a selection of Dynamuzak by Stanley Black. 10-inch Decca LP entitled A Stanley Black Showcase with Mr. B and his orchestra.
Wonderful.
Yeah, middle of the road missions. We're going to flip the disc and hear side B. vk3sl. Hope everyone's feeling nice and soporific after a dose of Stanley Black. This is vk3sl saying cheers for now. Look forward to your company tomorrow.
Wonderful. Good night.
Good night to you.